Hello and welcome to the second edition of our DFS Dummies podcast. We're breaking down the Tuesday, June 4th slate here. I'm joined by Captain DFS. Looks like his name is Frank Sai, and then I am Dr. DFS. My name is Adam Carey. We're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and break this down because we have nothing better to do with our lives than go through fantasy baseball on a Monday night. So looking at the first game of the Tuesday slate, we got Kansas City versus Cleveland. Looks like we've got Kansas City, slight underdog here with Cleveland for minus 115. Over under set at 8.5. Seth Lugo going up against Tristan McKenzie. Tristan McKenzie's been a little inconsistent this season, up and down. Seth Lugo 9-1 with a 1.72 ERA. Having a very, very fine season here. Very close matchup. Got the wind blowing 8 miles per hour out. Don't mind the over here. The low ERAs might make you lead to believe that this could be a low-scoring game, but I am actually going to pick Kansas City for the upset here. In this matchup, I think we got the better pitcher. And I do think Tristan McKenzie is very, 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 very inconsistent. Who you got in this matchup? Captain.
This matchup, I actually have also the Royals money line.
Ooh.
Because Kansas City has an 18% strikeout rate from the right side of the plate. Um, and McKenzie's just not striking anyone out really. And Guardians have lefty power, but they also haven't been striking out a lot. But Seth Lugo just has to rely on his ground ball to get these batters out.
All right. All right. So we're in agreement on that one. Moving on to Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Actually, sorry, we're going to move on to Dodgers, Pittsburgh here. We've got the big money spending Dodgers against the low market team Pirates. Got Glass now going up against Jared Jones. Um, this matchup, there's no way I can't pick the Dodgers. There's no way you can convince me to pick the Pirates. I'm going Dodgers all day. They're only a minus 185 against the Pirates, which could be a reflection of the Pirates' good record on the season. But I'm going Dodgers, and the wind's blowing in, but Ohtani is still going to hit a home run. I'm going for Ohtani home run. Put a lot of money on it, and I think you will be very happy with the results. Good underdog pick for 6-4. What do you think here? Jesus
Today
Christ.
I also lean the Dodgers. Jones has just had a lot of runs being earned against him. He played against Detroit, San Francisco, and the Cubs, and each of those starts he had at least three earned runs. And the Dodgers just have a much better lineup in these teams. And Glasnow is one of the top pitchers in the league right now.
All right. Moving on to our third game, we've got Milwaukee against Philadelphia. Colin Ray and Sanchez in this matchup. Looks like right now Philadelphia's a pretty sizable favorite at 175 to win. Milwaukee's been playing well. Philly's been playing well. They're both leading their divisions in this one. Not sure that warrants a minus 175 line on Philly. I don't think I would bet on this game, but I definitely would not take that Philly money line in this matchup. Looking at the some prop bets here, really nothing really sticking out from either side really. Probably want nothing to do with this game at all. What do you think?
Um, this game's tough, but I lean towards the Phillies because Ray is just horrible. Um, but Sanchez, the last couple of games, he has a 56 to 38 ground ball to fly ball ratio. Um, I'm just also really worried about Ray's regression, so I'm leaning Phillies today.
All right, all right. You are a crazy man today, Captain. Let me tell you, I can't believe you're taking Philly in this matchup. You're crazy, crazy, crazy man. All right, moving on to Tampa Bay and Miami, the battle for the Panhandle, or well, the state of Florida. We've got Ryan Pepiot versus Jesus. Um, looks like the Marlins are complete dumpster fire this season. Tampa Bay's having a hard time competing in the AL East. Looks like we've got Tampa Bay as a slight favorite at minus 120. To be honest with you, I would probably. I think Tampa Bay should be a bigger favorite here, although both pitchers are pretty solid. I'd probably I'd go with Tampa. Uh, the money line's close. The Vegas lines makers usually get it pretty close to right, but I'd pick Tampa Bay in this matchup. No props really sticking out. We're in a dome state. Are we in a dome stadium? We are in a dome stadium. So yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay here. I would not parlay them. Who do you got?
This game's a toss-up, really. I'm leaning Tampa Bay because Miami's just the second worst team in the league right now, and the Rays bullpen has been improving lately.
All right, moving on to our next game. We have the New York Mets versus the Washington Nationals. David Peterson with 0-0 with a 3.6 ERA. Trevor Williams 5-0 with a 2.22 ERA. Um, Washington is surprisingly has a better record than New York, which shocks my mind as I look at this here. And looks like we do have the Mets as a favorite. Um, I am going to pick the Nationals in this one. Call me crazy. And if I'm wrong, if the Nationals do not win this game, then I am going to chug a beer on the next DFS dummy stream. I'm going to chug it in under 10 seconds. If I don't chug it in under 10 seconds, then I am going to chug 2 beers on the next stream. I think Washington is winning here. Who do you got, Captain?
Um, I actually lean the Mets
Boo! No,
because
wrong.
Peterson's hard hit percentage has been up, but it's really a toss-up. I wouldn't bet this game because Peterson's pitched really well in spring training, but the
Sir, it
Nationals
is
are
June.
5-0 and Trevor Williams starts. So
Sir, it is June. I it is June. It is not spring training. I don't know about this, Captain. I think you need to bet the beer on this one as well.
I
Drink a beer.
I think the game's a toss-up. I wouldn't parlay it or play it, so
All
I would
right.
lean the Mets, but not too sure.
All right. Captain is not willing to drink for his crewmates. Moving on, Minnesota and New York, we have Ober versus Gill. Gill 7-1 with a 1.99 ERA sticks out. Looks like we have New York as a minus 165 favorite. I like that a lot. The Yankees have been hitting, the Yankees have been pitching, the Yankees have been winning. I am going to bet New York in a parlay. I think they are going to crush it. I do like Aaron Judge hitting a home run in this one. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Volpe will get a stolen base in this one as well. So I kind of like both of those props in this game. I always like to bet Volpe stolen base. It doesn't always come out good, but the Yankees are hitting and they are not slowing down, and they are on quite the roll. Who do you have?
Uh, I think both pitchers are pretty good, but the Twins are batting pretty neutral against righties right now. And Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, their bats have been just really hot lately, and Gill's control's been solid. So I would pick the Yankees money line or the run line minus 1.5. I would also parlay them.
All right. So we both have some pretty strong takes in that game, so circle that one for your 6-4. Moving on, another game I really like, Baltimore versus Toronto. We've got Corbin Burns, 5-2 with a 2.35 ERA, going up against Bowden Francis, 2-2 with an 8.59 ERA. Baltimore's a minus 165 favorite. I wouldn't mind parlaying this with the Yankees. Toronto has been playing like absolute garbage. The Orioles are rolling. They've got all those young hitters. Their pitchers are rolling. Orioles all day for me. And again, I'd parlay that with the Yankees, even as a two game parlay. I think that's a very good bet. Um, Gunnar Henderson, dude hits home runs like crazy. They're away, so he's batting top of the lineup away. He's going to get extra at bats in this scenario. Even with a lead, he will potentially bat in the ninth inning. So I do like Gunnar Henderson home run prop here. I think on underdog, he's still like a plus 2x multiplier or more. I think that's compared to an Aaron Judge 1.25x multiplier. I think that's laughable. I think you got to go if I had to pick him or Judge to hit a home run, I'm going Henderson. I mean, he's just been smashing everything. But yeah, again, Baltimore and then New York parlay for me. We'll see if we can add anybody to that to try and make it a little spicier. But who you got?
This is an iffy game for me. I like Oreos today because Burns has been pitching pretty well, and the Jays haven't been batting too well. But the last time they faced each other, Corbin Burns actually lost. Um, so this might be a bullpen game for the Jays, and frankly, the Jays bullpen is not good this year.
All right, so we've both got Baltimore in this one. Moving on, we got Atlanta at Boston. Atlanta dealing with a tremendous amount of injuries, sitting at 33 and 24. Red Sox sitting at an even 30 and 30. We got Max Fried, 5 and 2, 2.97 ERA, going up against Connor Crawford, 2 and 4 with a 3.29 ERA. Looks like we have Atlanta as a minus 165 favorite in this one. And yeah, I think that's warranted. You know, they don't have Acuna, but Ozuna is batting out of his mind. Austin Riley is not having the season he's typically having. But up and down the lineup, they've got people that can still hit home runs. They got people that can hit for average. Um, Looking at the Boston, they're a pretty scrappy team. I don't know if I would feel comfortable putting this in a parlay, but I would lean Atlanta. I could see somebody taking Boston here. Not any props that stick out, but I would definitely lean Atlanta. Just definitely wouldn't parlay them. It's kind of you got Atlanta dealing with injuries. You got Boston. That's they do good from time to time, but not anything that I'm putting a lot of capital behind. What about you?
Max Fried is a really good pitcher, and Cutter Crawford has been doing pretty well this year, but he actually lost a couple of his last starts. So I'm actually leaning towards the under 8.5.
Okay,
Not
yeah.
picking a side, but that's what I'm leaning towards. But I would not parlay that. I would just straight up bet it.
I like that. I think that might be your best pick here on this game. Looking instead of trying to pick an outright winner, I could see that. We do have the wind blowing, looks like left to right, 7 miles per hour, so the ball's not blowing tremendously out in that one. All right, moving on. We have a battle for Chicago. We've got the Cubs versus the White Sox. The White Sox, 15 and 45. The Cubs, 29 and 31. Interesting game. There is a solid chance of rain in this one. Cubs are a massive favorite at minus 290. Uh, Imanaga did not look good in his last game. I do believe in his stuff. I think it was a little fluky. I don't think the White Sox are going to piece him apart like in his last start. I don't like parlaying games with potential rain. And this one looks pretty solid. It's been raining in the northern part of Illinois a lot here recently. So for this one, I'm honestly going to stay completely away. If you were going to bet anything, I still caution you because with any rain potential, if I was going to pick anything, it would be Imanaga over on the strikeouts. This White Sox team strikes out a lot, but the problem is if there's a delay, he might not hit that because he might get pulled. If he pitches 4 innings, they have a half-hour delay. So I'm staying away from this game. I want no part of it. What about you?
I actually am gonna lean the Cubs during this game. And I might parlay it. I watched the last game and Imanaga just kept throwing the sinker into the ground in front of batters. But that's just one game, so I can't like say he's a bad pitcher right now. And Chris Flexen has an ERA of 5.5, and he's just been terrible. And the Sox have been on an 11 losing streak.
All right, all right. Repping his hometown Cubs there is the captain. You might think he likes the Pirates with his hat, but no, he likes the Cubs. He's a traitor. Traitor wearing that hat, but
I'm the
regard.
captain. I gotta wear a pirate hat.
The captain's supposed to have an eye patch, not sunglasses. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, moving on. We've got Detroit versus Texas. Somehow, the Tigers have a better record than the World Series winning last year's champion Texas Rangers. Jack Flaherty revitalizing his career after leaving the Cardinals, and Dane Dunning sitting with 4-3 with a 3.94 ERA. Last I checked, Jack Flaherty leads the league in strikeouts. I do believe in his stuff. His splitter is getting people out like crazy this season. If I had to pick, and this one, who's the favorite in this one? We've got Detroit sitting at a minus 120. I think that's crazy. Jack Flaherty's been on fire though, so you know, I am curious. I will look. I doubt Jack Flaherty has much history against these batters, but just out of curiosity. Okay, so he is pretty much nobody has really hit him that well. So, given how good he's doing right now, it's just crazy. Detroit's a minus 120 in this matchup. I guess that blows my mind. It kind of scares me away from picking a side here. They're both, you know, decent pitchers. Flaherty's, been trending up, but what's the over under on this game? We got 8.5. I don't think again, I'd stay away from this game. What about you?
Um, I would actually probably pick the Tigers the first five because Dunning's just not been pitching very well. He's having control issues, and he hasn't pitched more than 6 innings for the last 2 months as a starter.
Okay. St. Louis going up against Houston. Andre Palante sitting with a 1-1, 3.94 ERA. Arrighetti 3-5 with a 5.98 ERA. We've got Houston with a minus 145 favorite. Palante did very, very well in his last start. He got sent down to the minors, and he pitched really well in the minors, and he came up his last start, did really well as well. This one, Houston is a minus 145 favorite. I would be tempted to pick St. Louis, but I just don't trust St. Louis. So I'm picking the over in this one. I think over 8.5 runs is pretty solid. Um, they would have hit that. I think they hit that today already. That game's probably over. I like the over in this. I'm not picking a side. What about you?
Um, I would actually, I'm leaning Astros here, even though Cards do have a chance to win. But I'm just leaning money line. I'm not gonna parlay it. Our Getty's just been looking really good. Um, but he looked really good against Seattle, and that's not saying much because Seattle has been striking out a lot against righties. And Palante's had just that one really good start last game.
All right. Our next matchup, we have Cincinnati versus Colorado. Cincinnati sitting at a minus 135 favorite. Frankie Montas, 2-4 for 4.6 ERA, going up against Ty Blotch, 2-2 for 4.15 ERA. Game is in Colorado. We know that the ball flies in Colorado. Cincinnati is absolutely obliterating Colorado tonight. I do like Cincinnati in this one. I would parlay it as well again. Looking here, I am going to look up Ty Blotch's stats here against the Reds real quick to see. And I should have looked up the lefty stats too. So not a lot of data there, but Ella De La Cruz hasn't really had much of a power spike here. He's been on a streak with no home runs. I think he gets a home run. Calling it right now. He's getting a home run tomorrow. I'm picking him to get a home run. I'm picking the over 10. Wow, that's high. I'm picking over 10 and a half. I'm picking the over. There's going to be a lot of runs scored in this game. Cincinnati's got the better lineup. I'm picking them in the slugout. I'm parlaying them. I'll parlay them with Who did we say earlier? I'll parlay them with Baltimore. I'll parlay them with the Yankees if you want a triple stack. Give me Cincinnati. Give me the over. Give me the Ella De La Cruz home run. What about you?
I actually also like the over, but I'm actually leaning the Rockies.
Woo!
Sorry, man.
Woo!
Locke's actually been pitching pretty well, actually. And Montas is just not missing a lot of bats. And at Coors Field, that's not very good. Rockies are very good at hitting those home runs at Coors Field. Most of their wins this year have been in Coors Field.
All right, I think somebody needs to do a breathalyzer on the captain. He's had a little bit too much rum and he's not thinking clearly. But nevertheless, moving on next, we got San Diego versus Los Angeles. We've got Los Angeles sitting at a minus 115 favorite. Adam Mazur versus Patrick Sandoval. Adam Mazur has not started this year. Interesting. He must be brought up from the minors. Looking at his minor league stats here, he is not somebody who throws a lot of innings. So this guy will probably not be in the game for very long. Doesn't have the craziest stats. So I can kind of see why Atlanta is the slight favorite here. Um, we got the over/under set. I don't actually have an over/under on this game. Doesn't look like they put it out yet. The ball is blowing out. There's too many question marks in this one for me to really pick anything. The ball's blowing out. I don't mind a Manny Machado home run prop. Outside of that, there's really nothing that interests me in this game whatsoever. What about you?
I actually will probably pick the Padres money line, but it's a game I would stay away from actually. The Angels have just been not sorry, have just not been playing really well, and the Padres bullpen and batting line are better. Even though the Angels won tonight, 2-1, I still think the Padres are a better team.
All right, moving on to our last two games here. We got Seattle versus Oakland. Seattle sitting as a minus 155 favorite. Over under set at 7.5. So looking here, the wind is blowing 13 miles per hour out. We've got a 7.5 run over under. We've got two really solid pitchers. So again, I don't like this one, but I am going to, I'm going to put my money on something. So if I had to pick something, I'm going to go with Julio Rodriguez home run, and I'm going to go with Angular over 1.5 total bases. The dude's been on fire. He was with the Yankees, went to Pittsburgh. He's been batting over 400. Small sample size, but I'm taking the plus 1.5 total bases for Aguilar, and I'm taking a home run for Rodriguez. Would parlay neither one of them. If I had to make a pick between the two, I'm going to lean Oakland for the upset, just because I see it as a coin flip, and Seattle's a sizable favorite. Get your value, but not parlay in this one. What about you?
I would actually not touch this game at all, but because I got to pick a side. I like Oakland because Kirby's just been struggling on the road lately. He's been so bad on the road.
All right. Last game we have here is San Francisco versus Arizona. Arizona sitting at a minus 120 favorite. Over under set at 8.5 runs. Kyle Harrison, lefty lefty matchup going up against Blake Walston. Uh, both pretty solid pitchers. In this matchup, it's another close one. Both teams have very similar records. I'm probably going to lean the Diamondbacks. They're at home. Uh, they've got the slightly better lineup. Um, San Francisco's got a lot of batters that strike out. I'm going to lean Arizona with not a lot of confidence. No one that I'd really take any chances on. I always like a little Christian Walker home run prop, but um, I'm going to dig into that real quick and see what he is looking at against left-handers this year. He's batting 281 with 3 home runs and 72 at bats. So his home run rate's about the same against righties. So um, I'd probably wouldn't do that. So, yep, that's what I got. What do you got on the last one here?
The last one, I am actually gonna slightly lean the Giants. Kit Harrison has been their very good ace of the Giants this year, and I looked up Ben Walston's last two games, and he's just been given a lot of hits in the limited, very limited pitching time.
All right. Recapping here, I do like a parlay with the Dodgers, Yankees, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. Putting those together, I like an Ella De La Cruz home run. And I don't mind if you want some of those Yankees big boppers to hit a home run. They are going up against a middling Ober there. Um, and yeah, I like another Otani home run prop. Anything you want to say before we close out the 6-4 slate?
Yeah, and my parlay I like this time is gonna be the Cubs, Yankees, and the Dodgers.
Cubs, Yankees, Dodgers. All right. Well,
Yep.
that concludes our show for today. Have a good evening. Like, follow, subscribe. Let me know if you think if the captain should have an eye patch or sunglasses. I think we all know the answer to that question. And yeah, have a great day.